Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Commander Claw, and today I'm bringing you three more underrated commanders from the Final Fantasy set. If you haven't found any of my videos about all of these commanders or some of these commanders, I put out at least, I would say, about 20 Breaking Brews episodes on out of the 160 commanders. I feel like I've done the most videos on these commanders individually than anybody else. So make sure you Google it and you find, or YouTube it, YouTube search, and find me somewhere where you want to find more information about any of these commanders. But I got three for you right here. We got the Black Waltz #3 and Zidane, Tantalus Thief. And my final commander is Equipment Commander that I think is getting disrespected. Just like he always gets disrespected, and he's kind of a meme in the Final Fantasy world that I found out. But when I first read the card, I was like, oh, I like this card a lot. But without further ado, let's begin with Zidane, Tantalus Thief. Okay, so we got Zidane here. What I think makes her powerful is gameplay. To me, this is a mid-range Boros commander, mid-range to even late-game Boros commander. If you play it against most Boros decks, I would think they're mostly aggro. This one has a completely different pace of the game, and it's very relevant in eliminating creatures and protecting yourself. So for it to be Boros mid-range, I just think it puts in his class of its own. So let's talk about it real quick. What he does. For 3 and Boros colors, 3/3 body, legendary human mutant scout. When Zidane enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it. It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. Whenever an opponent gains control of a permanent from you, you create a treasure token. Now, in the first ETB section of its abilities, I think what is really underestimated after you take a creature is it gives that creature lifelink. Can you imagine stealing people's most powerful creatures and it has lifelink? It has lifelink built onto it. That is just, it keeps you in the game. So really, this kind of is a life game deck after, like, it's a payoff with dealing damage with a creature after you steal it. So it keeps you in the game longer. So it's a life game deck also. There's plenty of creatures that you want to steal from your opponents. And what makes this powerful is Zidane has an ETB ability. So you can just blink it and do it again. And do it again. Now, what gets really creative is when you give away a permanent you own to another player. And you are pretty much mana ramping. Mana ramping in red or white is already, I would say, fishy, right? It's a commitment. And if you don't have extra sources of mana in these two colors, you are not playing the game long enough. As in, you won't last long in a match, right? But there's several ways, there's several artifacts that just give away themselves from your side to an opponent, and you just mana ramp. You just get a treasure token, and you create mana of any color. Then remember, this is a Boros commander. There's a bunch of red spells out there that allow you to exile the top card of an opponent's library. Okay? And you can play that card. Sometimes it says you can pay mana of any color to cast a spell. Otherwise, it doesn't. But with these treasure tokens, it allows you to do that. So I really think Zidane is just a multi-dimensional Boros commander, mid-range to late game. Do not underestimate its abilities because it can just be multifaceted. You're doing life gain, ETBs, blinking, stealing creatures, giving away permanents, which is actually easier than you imagine. And there's treasure tokens, you're mana ramping all on a commander. There's a reason why this commander costs a total of 5 mana. Don't underestimate Zidane, Tantalus Thief. And I have a video of him right above here. So, to me, what makes Black Waltz #3, he has a win con built in the world of Magic for him and Rakdos colors, which I believe is rare. And when I say win con, all you have to do is give him Infect. Whenever a creature has infect and it can deal damage from itself to something, or mostly to a player, that's what we're going to do infect 2, you get to add that many poison counters to it. That's where I think Black Waltz is underestimated, not really talked about enough, and it can end games and Rakdos spell slinging. Because most of the time when you're building Rakdos spell slinger, you're falling into the trap of burn spells and removals, right? You can only do so much. But with infect built onto aura enchantments and equipments, you have a way to finish off games besides waiting for your opponents to get down to 10 life and 20 life and being so obvious on how you're going to destroy them. Another thing that makes Black Waltz number 3 really nasty is it says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, okay? Non-creature spells, to be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and tell you straight up. You're playing low CMC artifacts with this commander, so you can just drop as many non-creature spells on the battlefield all at once, especially when he is equipped with some kind of infectability. You can just end the game, give an opponent 10 poison counters by casting 5 spells. There's a bunch of 0 CMC artifacts, and what makes them so powerful is they cost 0 mana, or if you play artifacts, non-creature artifacts, they're colorless, so you're not stuck to committing to red or black. You just got to play the spell, and that's it. So realistically, 4 CMC for Black Waltz number 3 is amazing, and you could really build him aggro Rakdos and play a bunch of low CMC, keeping your mana curve super low, and he's got to be fun to play with. I think he's so quick to eliminate players that your opponents know that they have to target him and get him off the battlefield, so you're committed into paying commander tax. That is the unfortunate case. I do believe Black Waltz number 3 is a kill on sight commander. Do not underestimate him at all, and the Thundaga ability. So here's one of my favorite commanders from Final Fantasy, y'all. So we got Gilgamesh Master-at-Arms for 4 and 2 red, 6/6 body, legendary human samurai. First of all, you know samurai creature types are super cool. Don't tell me they're not. They are. They are. I just feel like in previous sets, they were just lackluster and it wasn't enough. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, they brought you a little something, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. It didn't tickle my fancy enough where I'm like, oh, ninjas and assassins and samurais. Oh my. Nah, it didn't do that for me. But Gilgamesh, yes. And just enough blabbing, I'll just summarize what he does. He is a ETB and an attack trigger type of creature that reveals equipment from the top of your library, top 6 cards of your library, and you can throw as many as you want on the battlefield whenever he ETBs and attacks. So your probably first thought is, build him as your commander, equip him with all these equipments. He's a Voltron commander. That is very formidable and that's very powerful. I feel like you will be limited and you are committing into the equip costs. But there are a bunch of red spells that allow you to equip for lower prices, lower equip costs, right? But I think what's not talked about him enough, and I don't think he's talked about enough, is he could just be your equipment finder. So you could have a deck of good stuff, red creatures, or even low, CMC creatures, or just red creatures that have a crazy, great evergreen keywords. Maybe they have flying. Maybe they got first strike. Maybe they got haste. So you pretty much construct your deck with Gilgamesh on a later turn 6, turn 5, turn 4, to get all these equipments out and attach them to these other creatures. So your opponents are fighting other creatures instead of waiting to fight Gilgamesh Master-at-Arms. That's where I think he's really, really good. And if you want to learn more equipments, there's a bunch of equipments out there. This guy is just going to just drop them all into play. He's super unique, and I really like that for Voltron commanders. So thank you for watching this video on 3 underrated commanders from the Final Fantasy set. Do not sleep on these guys. Anybody that's playing Zidane, ha! I really think that's going to be the deck that tests deck builders. Like, you can do a lot. It's so multifaceted. You're doing a lot of things just with one card, and in colors that I feel like it's just always sold to be aggro and just to deal damage, right? But it's more than that. It's more than that. Gilgamesh, super cool Voltron commander. First time playing with him, you're going to be excited. You get to drop all these equipments into play easily, fast. All you need to do is equip them. And when we talk about the Black Waltz #3, oh, kill on sight commander. Your opponents are not going to like him. Yeah. Thank y'all.